What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 24, and we start today's episode with a scout report here from our youth scout currently based in France, and as you can see, we signed another player to our youth academy. Gaetan Cardinale looks like a very decent youngster, and he is going to come into our academy. You'll see him in the youth monthly report in the next episode. He does look very, very good indeed, and I am liking the look of our academy right now because, of course, we've already got Florian Pele in our first team. Same with Barmy. There's a couple of random youth players as well who I don't think will make the cut. But also in our academy now, Cardinale is going to join Yannick Giron. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Got to learn these pronunciations properly. But either way, the academy right now is looking good. And the prospect of some good youth players coming through this Paris FC system is looking more likely that they could succeed for club and country. Hopefully, touch wood, in many years to come. Still following that, we also signed two players today in today's episode, both on pre-contracts. Meyi and also Rafik came into Paris FC, or I should say will come into Paris FC at the start of the new season next year. Very happy with those two pre-contract signings. Both of those players are on relatively low wages. Meyi is going to be, Meyi is going to be $8,000 a week, which is a little bit expensive, but Rafik is only 2,750, I think it was. So two pretty cheap anyway deals on pre-contracts there, and we'll take both of those players because just like Tristan and just like Martial, the prospect of those players and the likelihood of those players succeeding for many years to come, again, for club and country, is quite slim. But as squad players, they'll come in next season and they'll just do the job. And there'll be players who, maybe in a year or so, we could sell them on for profit as we sign them for free. So I'm happy with those two deals. We wrap them up there, and maybe there are more to come as well. So we take on Red Star here for the first game of today's episode. Remember this team, Red Star? We faced them last season. And they are, of course, Paris FC's, well, they're listed as Paris FC's main rivals in the game, but of course we're calling them our secondary rivals, if you will, or if you will, local rivals. Last season, no one knows the divisional rivals. I don't really know how you'd call them, what you call them really, but either way, Red Star, rival team of Paris FC, not our main rivals, those are PSG, of course, but Red Star, regardless, from the second tier of French football. We faced them last season and we beat them both home and away, but coming to this one here in the Coupe Nationale, that's why we were taking them on here. We trailed in this game going into the break by a 1-0. It was a really good finish as well, but in the second half here, 10 minutes after the restart, we would level things up and tie the game as well. And it's a guy who I discussed just a few minutes ago who scores his first goal for the club. 17-year-old Florian Pele coming through the academy, starting in this game in a much changed Paris FC side. He gets his head on the end of this Grange corner, heads it into the back of the net and makes it Red Star 1, Paris FC 1. So Florian Pele getting his first goal for the club, the youngster, the teenager, equalising for Paris FC and making sure he would not be trailing for much longer in the second half. But in stoppage time though, Red Star had a great chance to win the game. The number 12 was played forward there one-on-one, but couldn't hit the target as it remained 1-1. So what a fantastic chance there, but Red Star couldn't take it, and because of that, we had a chance to win the game right from the goal kick, passing out from the back as per usual, playing the ball forward, and at the far post here in stoppage time, Socriere comes off the bench, and the man who's retiring at the end of the season, the 37-year-old, finishes the chance and makes it Red Star 1, Paris FC 2. So Socriere with the goal, 2-1 to Paris FC, and from what was looking like genuine fear as Red Star came forward there with a chance late on, it ends up becoming jubilation for us as we will beat our rivals away from home thanks to that stoppage time winner and get ourselves through to the Coupe Nationale. Round of 16 I think it is now, but either way, Socriere with the goal in stoppage time, coming off the bench, does make it Red Star 1, Paris FC 2. So we are through to the next round of the Coupe Nationale. Socriere comes off the bench and the old man does score the winner in stoppage time, and it was really fortunate as well because we didn't play too well in this game, not badly but not too well, but Red Star, the chance they had late on, it was one of those moments where, it was stoppage time, late goals in this year's FIFA seem to happen quite a lot. I was thinking, they're going to score here, aren't they? They're surely going to score here, but they messed up the chance, and from the goal kick, passing out from the back as per usual, we get ourselves one final opportunity to win the game, and we will take it as well through the old boy Socriere. So very pleased with that, but following the game as well, We went in for another pre-contract signing here. Fabien Chenkua. I've got to stop trying to sign players I can't pronounce. But this guy here, the right midfielder from Nîmes Olympique. He's 24 years old, 66 overall. He doesn't look special in any way, but he does have some decent pace on him. And as a squad player on pretty low wages, I wouldn't mind getting hold of the guy and signing him on a pre-contract. Now, I've discussed many times before, if you are doing a road to glory career like this one, where you're starting off with a team with a low budget and low starting overalls, in the first few seasons, the easiest way to progress as quickly as possible is by signing players on pre-contracts. Because even though those players right there, Fabien Chenkua, I think his name is, I think it's how you pronounce it, even though we all know he won't be a first-team starter in this Paris FC side, and he won't get too much game time, and he won't be amazing for us, and we know he's not going to develop and going to become one of the best players in this Paris FC team, we know that we'll sign him for free, and if we want, a year later, or even possibly 6 months later, we could sell the guy for a few £100,000, and it's just like buying money. It's just like buying money. So because of that, we'll be signing the guy on a pre-contract, or trying to sign a guy on a pre-contract, and again, that will just give us some more squad depth, if nothing else, and also an option for us to sell him in the future to get us a little bit more scratch. Still, for the second game of today's episode here, we take on EA Guingamp back in the Ligue 1. As things stand, still top of the table as we come into this game here. Can we win the league with Paris SC? We discussed it before. Well, if we win these sort of games here and close them out, there's no reason why we can't do so. Our home form this season has been fantastic. 0 defeats at home this season, and this guy's form has been fantastic as well. Thierry Ambrose, who has 19 goals in the Ligue 1 season so far. Last season got 37. Is he going to get the same again? Possibly, I'm not too sure, but 19 goals already. What a season he is having as he puts us in front in this game. But sadly for us, though, the away side would equalise here. This was a really nice finish as well, just like the goal that Red Star scored against us. The shot coming from just outside the area, but the goalkeeper Barmy having absolutely no chance. Fantastic finish there by the number 17, and he does equalise to the away side and make it Paris FC 1, EA Guingamp 1. We had a good chance to win the game here, 5 minutes before the end. Thierry Ambrose going in search of his second goal, couldn't get his header on target, only goes behind for a goal kick, and it was how the game would finish as well. Final score, Paris FC 1, EA Guingamp 1. So sadly for us, can't make it 2 wins out of 2, and we do fail to get maximum points in this game. It was a pretty poor game as well. Not too many chances for either side, really. I think a score draw is probably the right result. But also as well, worth noting, another assist for Boga, who this season has been playing like Mesut Ozil, man. Seriously, he's been absolutely fantastic, picking up so many assists, leading the league right now in assists, and being awesome for us when setting up his teammates. But still, following out, we complete our third signing on a pre-contract of the episode. Fabien Chenkua is going to come in, 24 years old, 66 overall. And, again, I'll say it once again, I just said it a minute ago there, the easiest way to progress with a side, it's a Road to Glory project, is just by signing those players on pre-contracts. I know some people don't like it, and that's totally fine, but for me, I just think it's a really, really easy way of, bringing in squad players, if nothing else, on low wages, and then selling them on for profit in years to come if you want to do so. But still, for the third and final game of today's episode here, we take on Marseille away from home at the Stade Velodrome. Now, Marseille, of course, one of the biggest sides in France. I was really looking forward to this game, but Marseille were really, really, really good in this game and put me under pressure right from the first minute. Barmy made a really good save there to keep it at 0-0, but in this game I struggled massively to defend, and that's something I haven't said much during this series, because with Paris SC I felt pretty solid at the back despite changing formation a couple of times in this series already, but in this game it was just completely different. Like, I just had no clue what to do at the back, could not defend whatsoever, and if it wasn't for our fantastic goalkeeper Barmy, the 18-year-old, making save after save after save, we would have been trailing by 2 or 3 goals coming to break, but it was still 0-0 as we approached the half-time mark, and we almost led at the break as well, as Bongongwe was played forward here and went for goal, but sadly Mandanda, with not much to do in the first half, had something to do there and made the save to get it behind for a corner. So half-time it was still 0-0, not too sure how though, because Marseille were dominating and looking far stronger than us, and in the second half as well, they started off brightly just a couple minutes after the break. This headed by Batshuayi, the Belgian, going just wide the post and behind for a goal kick, and a few minutes later another chance for Marseille. Lassana Diarra on the ball, gets onto it, goes for goal from just outside the area, but drags shot wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0 in this game, and just past the hour mark here, one of the final chances would fall to Paris FC as we almost stole the win in this game. Bongongwe's header hit the bar, and then JJ's follow-up header was turned behind for a corner by Mandanda, and it was how the game would actually finish as well. Final score away at the Velodrome in the south of France, Marseille 0, Paris FC 0, and we claim ourselves a point and a clean sheet. And during that game, I did not think that either of those things were going to happen. Marseille played better in my opinion. We may have had more possession, but they had far more shots than us, looked a lot more threatening as well. But Barmy played quite well. Defensively, I thought we were quite solid too as well, to deny Marseille from getting any goals in this game, and the game did finish as a goalless draw. So a 0-0 draw in that one. We may be top of the table, and we may be targeting wins in this game, in those games when we go into them, but after seeing how good Marseille started the game, I guess I'm pleased, if nothing else, to make sure we would get ourselves at least a point. But that does end the episode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you're enjoying today's episode of Club and Country, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.